Okay, Mom, let's talk about 5 ways to achieve success in business as a master generalist. So, part 1 and 2, we talked about different benefits and different ideas along those lines. So, let's really get into how you can achieve success in business. And you can do this, Mom. It is scary venturing in the opposite direction that everyone is telling you to go in. When you hear specialize and find your niche all the time, it is hard to decide to try to do it differently. But, Mom, let's stop trying to fit into someone else's idea of how to be successful in business. Now that you've decided to take the first step in the direction of being a generalist, let's get into how to be successful as one. Number 1, leverage all of your skills. Whether you've gained skills in a traditional office, as a mom, from your jobs as a teenager, or in school, combine all of that knowledge you've gained and bring those skills into your business. One of the tasks in one of my jobs was to help proofread and edit. At the time, I had never been formally trained as an editor, but my homeschool curriculum put so much emphasis on grammar that I became an integral part of the editing team. My job title at the time was executive assistant, not editor or communications, a master generalist at work. So, if you need some ideas of the skills you possess, think of your mad skills as a mom. You are a planner, a multitasker. You are able to execute projects from start to finish. Remember that amazing first birthday party you planned for your firstborn? Project executed from start to finish. So every aspect of your life contributes to your skills as a master generalist. And this is how you start to be successful as a generalist. Number 2 on our list of how to achieve success as a master generalist is create the habit of learning. If you aren't already in the habit of learning, then start to cultivate this mindset. If you need help, I highly recommend the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. So if you find that you always give up on your goals that you set, then this will be a great alternative to the goal gurus. The emphasis or the idea is to improve 1%, not 100% every day, but 1% every day. So make a little but consistent progress every day, and you will be amazed at what you can accomplish. I will be honest, I prefer this idea, theory of accomplishing goals than the smarter, and all those big, hairy, scary ones as well. So I found this to be a better way to work. Ask yourself these questions. In order to achieve success in business, what do I need to learn and what do I want to learn? You can learn anything from the book or internet. Formal classroom training is not required, but you already know this if you homeschool. So, going back to my personal example of being an editor, once I established myself as an informally trained editor, this led to being asked to edit and design a curriculum workbook to be self-published. So I took it from raw manuscript all the way through to being a published book. I've never done this before. I didn't even know how to do it. So I learned. It took a couple of hours of research, and I knew that I could do it. Since then, I've created and designed and published my own books. Yes, I'm published, and I will leave the links below. So, number 3 is take classes. I am not talking about a college degree. I am talking about taking targeted and specific training to gain a specific skill or skills. Taking classes from places like Skillshare or Masterclass, and there's a bunch more out there. These classes will enable you to fill in any gaps or areas that you feel you are lacking in. After becoming an informally trained editor and book designer, I decided to get formally trained as a copy editor. So the initial thought was I could specialize in this area and leverage it to work from home. While editing is something that I do on occasion for small projects, it is not something that I actually do for my business. So much for that idea. But I am able to bring these skills into other areas of what I do. I did take the certificate program from the University of California, San Diego Extension Program, and I'll leave the link below. Some of the classes are expensive. They offer professional certificates, and maybe you would find cheaper classes or better classes from someplace like Coursera. But my experience is specifically with the University of California. And I thought the copy editing class was very well done, and I learned from it. I was really glad I took the class. Even though it's not a main part of my virtual assistant business, it still plays a role in what I do. Like, hey, designing a magazine ad for 2 million people. Yeah, why not? Number 4, market yourself as the Swiss Army knife for small businesses. You may be thinking, this sounds great, but how to be successful in business as a generalist and get clients? If you are a generalist, you are the Swiss Army knife for a small business. You really are. Your know-how and versatile skill set make you the perfect person to help a small business succeed. They can delegate anything to you. They know that you have the ability to handle it, or at least figure out how to handle it. And maybe, just maybe, to improve it. So you are the Swiss Army knife. You can do anything to help small businesses. And if you're a small business on a limited budget, only able to hire one person, you want to hire the person who has the ability, who has a wide experience and broad knowledge. Trust me on that one. And number 5. So even though you are the Swiss Army knife for small businesses, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. If you've followed this blog for any length of time, you know I'm not a fan of those conventional ideas that you should be chasing your dreams, or that your dreams should center around a passion for a career. I think these ideas are somewhat misleading, much like the idea that the only way to be successful is to specialize. But, and there's always a but, right? After all of that, there's always a but. I don't think you should be doing something that you hate. You can enjoy what you do without a deep, burning passion for it, and that's okay. So when I started my virtual assistant business, I listed everything that I did from my previous jobs. That seemed like the best strategy at the time. One of those listed items was travel arrangements, because I could do it. I knew how to do it, and I was good at it. You know what I quickly discovered? I hated doing it. Most people are very particular when it comes to travel, and that's okay, because I am just as particular too when it comes to traveling. You know, they only want to fly certain airlines, and they want certain seats, and they only want to stay in these hotels, etc., etc. So keeping up with all of these particulars was not fun, nor was it enjoyable. So I decided I would no longer offer this service. And I am so glad I did. And you know what? It has not affected my business at all. So just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. You do not have to have a deep passion for whatever service you're providing, but if you absolutely hate it, then don't do it. Mom, the breadth and knowledge and experience you possess as a generalist gives you the ability to handle anything that comes your way. You don't need to lock into the idea that you can only be successful if you have one exceptional skill to offer. Never stop learning. When you stop learning, you stop growing. Your value to your clients will continue to grow as you continue to learn new things and new skills. If you're unsure where to start, then be sure to check out the totally free 20-page workbook that will walk you through the process of starting a business without a niche. And that goes hand in hand with being a generalist. So definitely, it's free to you. This is one of those soapboxes that I will always stand on and preach on. So I wanted to make sure you have the tools to really make your business a success as a generalist and without a niche.